For 60 years, the ultimate failsafe for America's nuclear arsenal was a physical, mechanical lock called a permissive action link. But hidden within the military's recent multi-billion-dollar tech upgrades is a quiet reality. The physical key is dead, and what replaced it is infinitely more dangerous. We are living in an era of hypersonic weapons. If a glide vehicle is launched at the United States right now, the president does not have 30 minutes to react. They have exactly 3 minutes to decide the fate of the world. But deep inside the Pentagon, strategists have realized a terrifying truth. 3 minutes is too slow. The human brain is officially a bottleneck in the chain of command. To fix this, the Defense Department is rapidly shifting to an autonomous architecture. To understand why the Pentagon is quietly changing the rules of mutually assured destruction, you have to ask a simple question. What is a permissive action link, and how do nuclear launch codes actually work? Back in the 1960s, the military feared a rogue general might start World War III, so they installed heavy mechanical locks directly on the warheads. These were the original permissive action links. They relied on physical dials, complex electrical strong links, and strict human coordination to prevent unauthorized detonation. Two men turning two keys at the exact same time. The combination locks were specifically designed to physically break the firing circuits if tampered with. It was a physical handshake. It was tactile, it was slow, and it was safe. But over the decades, as the physical dials turned into digital keypads and analog radars evolved into phased array tracking systems, the nature of the threat changed. By the early 2000s, the delay was no longer in the hardware. The delay was the human verification process. When a general has to look at a radar screen, call the president, verify the identity codes, and transmit authorization down to the silos, precious time burns away. And in a war fought at Mach 5, time is the one thing the United States does not have. Before we expose the specific, terrifying artificial intelligence networks currently taking over early warning systems, hit the subscribe button. Atlas Classified investigates the world's most secretive defense technologies, and your subscription ensures you never miss a briefing. So, how is the military solving the human bottleneck? They are building what defense insiders colloquially refer to as a machine brain. According to public reports from the Federation of American Scientists, artificial intelligence is already deeply integrated into parts of America's nuclear command, control, and communication systems. This is not science fiction. It is happening right now in data centers hidden beneath the surface. Algorithms are processing radar signatures and satellite intelligence in milliseconds. They are predicting launch intent before a human analyst even realizes a threat exists. This brings us to a massive invisible digital grid called the Joint All-Domain Command and Control Network, or JADC2. The goal of this multi-billion-dollar project is to connect every soldier, drone, and nuclear silo to a centralized artificial intelligence network. But this creates a terrifying new question. Can artificial intelligence early warning systems accidentally start a nuclear war? The risk of a flash war is higher today than at any point during the Cold War. When two competing artificial intelligence systems from rival nations start analyzing each other's data streams, they operate at speeds beyond human comprehension. If a Russian algorithm misinterprets an American radar pulse and automatically pre-authorizes a defensive posture, the American system will detect that shift instantly and escalate in response. A massive chain reaction of escalating threat levels could occur in a fraction of a second. By the time the warning alarms ring in the Oval Office, the machines have already concluded that an attack is guaranteed. This compresses the decision window so aggressively that the human commander is left with an impossible choice. They suffer from what defense experts call the black box problem. If a massive, complex neural network tells a general that an incoming strike is 99.9% confirmed, the general cannot logically decipher or verify the math in the 3 minutes they have left. They are forced to trust the machine. At that point, is the human actually making a decision? Or are they just rubber stamping an algorithm? The physical key has been replaced by a fluid, fast-moving digital stream, where hesitation means total annihilation. This algorithmic escalation is exactly why lawmakers in Washington are terrified. If you ask the search engines, is the United States military using artificial intelligence for nuclear weapons launch codes? The official answer is heavily guarded. But the actions of the United States Congress reveal the absolute panic behind closed doors. Between 2024 and 2026, a bipartisan group of lawmakers scrambled to introduce emergency legislation. They drafted the Block Nuclear Launch by Autonomous Artificial Intelligence Act. The sheer existence of this bill proves the threat is real. They are desperately trying to codify that federal funds cannot be used to allow an automated system to launch a nuclear weapon without meaningful human control. They are trying to legally ban the machine from taking the final step. But military policy is already full of loopholes. Department of Defense Directive 3000.09 governs autonomous weapons. Despite public belief, it does not strictly mandate a human in the loop for all lethal actions. It only requires, quote, appropriate levels of human judgment. And in a hypersonic war, appropriate human judgment might just mean turning the system on and letting it run. The legal documents prove the Defense Department is standing on the edge of a fully autonomous nuclear architecture. The Ghost Protocol is no longer a movie plot. It is the natural, terrifying mathematical endpoint of modern warfare. As missiles get faster, the human mind becomes obsolete. The mechanical permissive action links that kept us safe for 60 years are museum pieces. Today, the highest form of global security is handled by a cold, calculating machine that does not feel the consequences of its math. We are building the architecture of our own destruction and handing the keys to a digital ghost. If you want to know how the military is hiding its next generation of classified space weapons, click the video on your screen right now. Stay vigilant.